Day 966 of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. In the past 24 hours, Russian forces have continued the pattern observed over the previous 3 days: consolidation of newly captured territory, followed by immediate shaping operations toward the next logistical nodes. The overall rate of visible territorial gain has slowed slightly, but the pressure on Ukrainian defensive lines remains high, particularly in the CHASIV Yar and Pokrovsk sectors. Ukrainian command appears to be executing a delay-and-withdraw strategy in multiple areas, prioritizing the preservation of manpower over holding forward positions that lack adequate artillery support. This report covers all confirmed territorial changes from north to south, based on geolocated footage, satellite imagery, and cross-referenced open-source intelligence. Let's begin. Kupiansk, Lyman Sector. In the Kupiansk direction, the frontline map line remains unchanged for the 4th consecutive day. However, the intensity of Russian long-range strikes has increased. Geolocated footage from June 15th confirms the use of FAB 3000 glide bombs, targeting Ukrainian rear area command posts near Kislivka and Tabayevka. These are among the largest conventional aerial munitions currently in use in this conflict. Their deployment indicates a Russian objective to deepen the gray zone behind Ukrainian lines, forcing the relocation of logistics hubs further west and disrupting reserve rotation cycles. While no settlements changed hands today, the operational environment for Ukrainian defenders continues to degrade due to this standoff precision fire. Further south, in the Lyman direction, Russian forces have fully fortified the contact line established west of Bilohorivka earlier this week. Trench networks are now interconnected with drone launch sites and anti-tank guided missile positions along the eastern bank of the Siversky Donets River. Ukrainian positions north of Terny remain under constant drone-corrected artillery fire. Russian reconnaissance groups continue probing operations in the forest belts between Terny and Yampolivka, but no large-scale assault activity was observed in the past 24 hours. Assessment for this sector. Static map line, increasing rear area pressure. CHASIV Yar, the critical front. The most significant developments continue to occur in the CHASIV Yar area. Following the bridgehead consolidation reported on day 965, Russian forces have now established firm fire control over the eastern embankment of the Inau 0504 highway. Geolocated footage confirms Russian infantry operating within 100 meters knots of the highway surface in multiple locations. As of today, the T0504 highway is classified as severely degraded. Daylight logistics movement is no longer viable without extreme risk. Ukrainian supply convoys are restricted to nighttime movements only, under cover of smoke screens and electronic warfare jamming. In practical terms, this means the highway is functionally interdicted, even if not physically cut. Inside the Channel micro-district of CHASIV Yar, Russian assault groups have cleared an additional 2 apartment blocks on the western side of the canal bridgehead. Fighting remains close quarters, floor by floor, with Ukrainian defenders conducting delaying actions from fortified basement positions. The intensity of Russian aerial bombardment remains exceptionally high. Open-source intelligence confirms at least 18 FAB 1500 glide bomb strikes within the CHASIV Yar urban area in the past 24 hours. This level of saturation makes it extremely difficult for Ukrainian infantry to hold fixed defensive lines for more than a few hours before positions are degraded or destroyed. Ukrainian command has now fully established a second-line defense GOTS along the western ridge of CHASIV Yar, approximately 1 to 1.5 kilometers behind the current contact line. This confirms the shift in posture from hold at all costs to delay and trade space for time. We expect a gradual Ukrainian withdrawal due to this western ridge over the next 96 to 120 hours, rather than a sudden collapse. South of CHASIV Yar in the Bakhmut sector, Russian forces maintain full control over Klishchivka. Patrols continue to operate in the forest belt between Klishchivka and Stupochki, but no permanent Ukrainian positions have been re-established in this area. The zone remains classified as gray territory under Russian fire dominance. Avdiivka, Pokrovsk axis. The situation west of Avdiivka continues to evolve rapidly. On day 965, Umansky was confirmed fully lost. In the past 24 hours, Russian forces have consolidated Umansky and immediately pushed westward toward Selidov. Geolocated footage confirms Russian reconnaissance units operating approximately 1.8 kilometers west of Umansky along the road leading directly to Selidov. Ukrainian forces have established new blocking positions near the Selidov southern outskirts. But these are currently light infantry positions without heavy fortifications. The fall of Umansky has opened a direct corridor toward the Selidov logistics hub, which serves as a critical supply node for the entire Pokrovsk defensive cluster. If Selidov comes under direct fire control, Ukrainian logistics for the wider region will face severe strain. Further south, in the settlement known as New York, Russian forces have expanded their control zone west of the railway station. Geolocated footage confirms Russian flags visible near the intersection of Central Street and Railway Lane, placing them within approximately 1 kilometer of the Kaltu 5113 highway. Like the TO 504 near CHASIV Yar, the TO 5113 is not yet physically cut, but it is now within effective ATGM and mortar range. Daylight logistics movement along this route is increasingly restricted. Total Russian advance in this sector over the past 24 hours is estimated at 1.2 kilometers in depth, primarily west of Umansky and northwest of New York. Ukrainian sources cite ammunition starvation and exhaustion of forward units as primary factors limiting the ability to contest these advances. Replacement formations are arriving, but many report insufficient heavy weapons support and limited artillery coverage. Kurakov, Vuhledar sector. In the Kurakov direction, no new settlements were captured today. However, Russian forces have now fully converted the forward Ukrainian trench lines east of Ilinka into active assault positions. These trenches, vacated by Ukrainian forces over the past 48 hours, are now occupied by Russian reconnaissance and sabotage groups. Direct fire from these positions is now impacting the far-eastern residential zone of Ilinka itself. This is no longer a shaping operation. This is pre-assault bombardment. Russian artillery and drone-corrected mortars are systematically degrading Ilinka's eastern defenses in preparation for a main push, likely within the next 72 to 96 hours. Ukrainian sources explicitly acknowledge that artillery shell rationing prevents effective counter-battery fire, making it impossible to hold exposed forward trenches. Further south, in the Vuhledar area, the front line remains largely static. Both sides are engaged in positional drone warfare and occasional small unit skirmishes. No territorial changes were confirmed in the Vuhledar sector in the past 24 hours. Ukrainian forces continue to hold the town, but it remains isolated and under constant fire from multiple directions. CHASIV Yar, southern fronts, Zaporizhzhia and Kherson. In the Zaporizhzhia region, the front line is unchanged for the 11th consecutive day. Russian forces maintain defensive fortifications along the current contact line. Ukrainian units conducted limited reconnaissance in force operations near Robotine, but no permanent gains were achieved. This sector remains a positional stalemate with no significant activity. In the Kherson direction, across the Dnipro River, there were no significant changes. Russian forces hold the eastern bank. Ukrainian forces hold the western bank. Occasional artillery exchanges and drone strikes were reported, but no ground assaults were observed. Pokrovsk territorial summary. Based on geolocated footage, satellite imagery, and cross-referenced reports from both sides, Russian forces gained control over approximately 6 to 8 square kilometers of territory in the past 24 hours. This figure reflects a deliberate shift from rapid exploitation to consolidation and pre-assault shaping. Key takeaways from day 966. 1. Umansky fully consolidated. Russian forces now at 1.8 kilometers from Selidov outskirts. 2. CHASIV Yar, TO 504 highway, classified as severely degraded, daylight logistics non-viable. 3. New York settlement, Russian control within 1 kilometer of TO 513 highway, route now hot. 4. Ilinka, Pre-assault bombardment underway. Main push expected within 72 to 96 hours. 5. Kupiansk, Lyman, South. Static map lines, but FAB 3000 usage increasing in rear areas. The overall trajectory continues to favor Russian territorial gains, driven by artillery superiority, standoff precision strikes, and the ability to sustain high-tempo offensive operations despite casualties. Ukrainian defenses are transitioning toward delay and withdraw postures in multiple sectors, prioritizing manpower preservation over holding forward positions that cannot be supported by adequate fire. Conclusion. That concludes the frontline report for day 966. We will continue to monitor developments closely and provide daily updates as the situation evolves. If you rely on these reports for accurate, geolocated, and unbiased frontline information, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Your support ensures we can continue producing daily updates without interruption. See you tomorrow for day 967. Thank you for watching.